A young woman and her dog are found dead, locked inside a burning storage unit in Utah. But was it an accident? Or something far more sinister? Her boyfriend, Alexander Wardell, was the last person seen with her that night. What happened next would divide investigators, tear apart a family, and ignite a fight for justice. Because the most chilling piece of evidence wasn't discovered until months later, and it could change everything about how this case is remembered. Stay with me as we unravel this case step by step. By the end of this documentary, you'll see why Morgan's story is one of the most haunting true crimes Utah has ever faced. Asterisk, February 18th, 2023. Firefighters in Murray, Utah, battle a blaze tearing through a row of storage units. Inside one of them, they make a horrifying discovery. 27-year-old Morgan K. Harris and her dog Huck, lifeless, trapped behind a locked door. At first, it looked like a tragic accident, but soon suspicion fell on her boyfriend, Alexander Wardell. Was this an accident or a calculated act of murder? In this documentary, we'll uncover the evidence investigators found, some of it hidden in plain sight, that could prove what really happened that night. And the most disturbing revelation? It wouldn't come until months later. Stick with me, because the story you're about to hear is not just about a fire. It's about love turned deadly, justice delayed, and a mother's relentless fight to uncover the truth. A February night in Murray, Utah. Flames consume a row of storage units, thick smoke billowing into the winter sky. Firefighters rush in, battling the blaze. But inside one of those units, they make a discovery far darker than the fire itself. 27-year-old Morgan K. Harris and her loyal dog Huck are found lifeless, locked inside. And almost immediately, suspicion falls on one man, her boyfriend, Alexander Wardell. To understand this tragedy, we first have to know who Morgan Harris was. To her friends and family, Morgan wasn't just another face in the crowd. She was vibrant, adventurous, and deeply compassionate. Her bond with her dog Huck was inseparable. Wherever Morgan went, Huck was never far behind. Morgan grew up in Utah, described as a woman full of promise, just beginning to carve out her future. Friends recall her loyalty, her sense of humor, and the light she brought into every room. But behind closed doors, her relationship with Alexander Wardell was far more complicated. Alexander was 30, charismatic at first, but their relationship became stormy. Friends began noticing red flags, arguments, controlling behavior, and a darkness that seemed to creep in over time. Still, Morgan stayed, perhaps hoping things would change. But the events of February 18th, 2023, would prove devastating. On the night of February 18th, surveillance cameras recorded Morgan and Alexander entering the CubeSmart self-storage facility. Their voices were raised. They were arguing. Not long after Alexander walked away, Morgan, along with Huck, remained inside. Fire broke out. A neighboring strip of units ignited in flames. Firefighters arrived quickly. They forced open the door of one unit and found a horrifying scene. RS pull open a storage door. Cut to silhouetted reenactment of Morgan slumped in a chair. Morgan was unconscious, seated in a folding chair. Flames had started beneath her. When she regained consciousness, investigators believe she tried to crawl toward the ground, desperate to breathe fresh air beneath the door. Her dog, Huck, stayed by her side. Neither survived. Morgan's official cause of death: smoke inhalation and thermal injuries. Huck died beside her, loyal until the very end. But what investigators found later would change everything, and it's something most people don't know about this case. Stay with me, because the evidence uncovered next is more disturbing than anyone imagined. Did Alexander really plan the fire, or was this a tragic accident? In just a moment, we'll look at the chilling details investigators uncovered that may finally reveal the truth. And later in this video, we'll uncover what Morgan's final moments inside that storage unit tell us about what really happened. Remember, this isn't just a story about evidence and charges. This is about Morgan and her dog Huck, who stayed by her side until the very end. And the most heartbreaking detail of their final moments is still to come. What do you think? Was this justice delayed or justice denied? Comment your thoughts below, but make sure you stick with me until the end, because the most crucial piece of evidence is still ahead. Up until now, everything seemed uncertain, but investigators would soon uncover something hidden in Alexander's own belongings, something that could prove the case once and for all. That reveal is coming up. You might think you know how this story ends, but trust me, the most shocking discovery hasn't been revealed yet. In just a moment, we'll go inside the evidence investigators found in Alexander's duffel bag. Items that could change this case forever. Don't go anywhere, because the details you're about to hear are chilling. Police quickly arrested Alexander Wardell on suspicion of kidnapping and negligent homicide. Investigators alleged he had locked the unit from the outside, trapping Morgan and Huck. But just as it seemed justice was moving forward, the case took a shocking turn. In May 2024, Salt Lake County District Attorney Sim Gill announced no charges would move forward. His statement: "It is not likely we can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Wardell set the fire." The community was outraged. For Morgan's mother, Loris Williamson, the decision was devastating. She believed her daughter's death was no accident. She believed Alexander was responsible, and she refused to stay silent. Loris petitioned the Utah Attorney General's office to review the case. August 28, 2024. The AG announced new charges: felony murder, kidnapping, aggravated animal cruelty. Investigators searched Wardell's duffel bag. Inside, a blue button-down shirt with burn marks and blood stains. DNA testing confirmed the blood belonged to Morgan. At the scene, a candlestick inside a burned cardboard box. A lighter found on Morgan's body. Surveillance confirmed the argument before the fire. For prosecutors, the pieces began to align. An argument, a locked unit, physical evidence linking Wardell, and the tragic outcome. Why would a man trap the woman he claimed to love, and her dog, inside a locked unit as fire consumed it? Prosecutors argue it was about control. A final act of dominance in a relationship marked by volatility and tension. Experts on domestic violence explain: when abusers lose control, violence escalates. Pets are often targeted in abuse cases, used as leverage against victims. Evidence suggests Morgan may have been unconscious before the fire began, raising even more questions about what happened in her final hours. To prosecutors, this was not a tragic accident. It was deliberate, and it was personal. As Alexander Wardell awaits trial, the fight for justice continues. For Loris, it is not only about holding Wardell accountable. It is about honoring her daughter's memory and ensuring her story is not forgotten. The DA maintains his decision not to charge in 2024 was based on the evidence at that time. The AG believes new evidence paints a different picture, one of intentional murder. Morgan's death reminds us of the hidden dangers of domestic violence and the silence in which it often grows. It is a tragedy that should never have happened. And it leaves us with one question: will the courts deliver justice for Morgan and Huck? Or will her story become another symbol of a system that failed her? If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. Help is available 24/7 in more than 170 languages. Don't wait until it's too late. Subscribe for more true crime stories. Comment your thoughts. Was justice delayed or justice denied?